Hello, and welcome back to the weekly Oracle card reading with Kylie Savage Psychic. You're here to receive a very special psychic prescription for how to best work with the universal energies that will be available this week. That's the week from the 25th of January to the 31st of January 2020. Just totally tripping over my tongue here today. So, I'm so excited because January is almost over. We've had another 40-degree day. I could so do without those. Yeah, I'm totally grateful because I live in a beautiful home with plenty of air conditioning. If you don't really enjoy the summer either, I'm really empathizing with you, and let's bring on the cooler weather. I'm really looking forward to March. I love autumn. It's one of my favorite seasons. I'm feeling the energy really pick up. I'm feeling like I'm more engaged and connected with this year, and it's picking up and bringing us forward, and I feel like my real life will be getting back on track. It's really important if you are working as a psychic or a medium to take regular breaks from reading. This has been my personal experience, just to avoid burnout. So it's not that I couldn't read every day of the year, 365, it's that it kind of sends me crazy and exhausts me. So I make myself take a month off, at the end of between the end of the year and the beginning of the new year, and I really have to force myself to do it. This is the only reading I've been doing. The good news is, if you would like to book your own reading with me, that my books are reopening in February. So if you want to know about anything that's happening in my world, the first thing you can go and do is like and follow my Facebook page, Kylie Savage Psychic. On that page, you will find an email subscription sign-up form. You need to be on a desktop computer to see that. So click on that, fill out the form, and then when you are a subscriber to my newsletter, you're going to be the first to know of special upcoming events, courses, anything I'm just saying anything that's going on in my world, I will let you know in the newsletter. Plus you'll get I'm going to deliver a mini psychic development course through that newsletter. And for now, you'll get a free 2020 Oracle forecast, which is so exciting. I've used 3 decks to do that. It's a very detailed forecast. It's the first one I've offered to the public. I used to do the tarot wheel for myself at the beginning of the year or the end of one year, so I could see what was going to be the major themes for the year ahead. So anyway, that is fantastic. I'm really proud of that, and you'll get it for free when you sign up to my newsletter. You'll also be getting special offers and discounts. That list is going to get so much love. So yeah, definitely do that. And thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing to my YouTube channel, and hitting that little bell so you get notified when the videos come out. I'm looking at creating a fair bit more content, on a few different things this year. So I'd really love for you to keep watching the videos. If you have a friend or family member who you think might be interested in these videos, I'd love for you to share it. It's my hope that the work that I do can get out there to as many people as possible whom it might be of benefit to. So please share it, and thank you in advance for doing that. Okay, I've been looking at, and I have to wish you happy new moon in Aquarius. So that's today for the northerners and tomorrow for the southerners, for the Saturday. And I had it marked out. She said this is probably about take 3 on these videos. And I've already been through all this, so let's go through it again. So new moon Aquarius, and this is from the Moonology diary. I'm not sure if you can still get these, but if you can, make sure it's an authentic copy. It's the Moonology 2020 diary by Yasmin Boland. You can also check out her book, Moonology. If you're into moon manifesting, or you're curious, you want to get into it, that book has everything that you need. And you can find out more about Yasmin and her work at moonology.com. Okay, the heavens sent me the following quote from Emilia Carlotta Carvazio, which is perfect for this week's new moon. The process of becoming a conscious manifester is, at the end of the day, a process of awakening. You're awakening to your true self, the role of creator in this world. We are all creators. We are here to create, not to learn. Aquarius is a sign that wakes us all up. It's for forward-thinking people, such as yourself, who know they have the ability to manifest their dreams and aren't afraid to use their powers. So what are you manifesting this month as we move further into the new moon? Into the new year. The first planetary alignment after the new moon is between Mercury and Mars, which makes this a great time to surprise people by speaking up for yourself. Remember that you're on a conscious creation ride this year. Are you ready to start? The new moon is always the time to do the work, and this first new moon of the year is that plus plus. As the quote says, the process of becoming a conscious manifester is a process of awakening to your true self. The question to ask at this positive new moon Aquarius is, what are you drawing into your life? I'm so excited. I'll be doing my new moon ritual tomorrow and thinking about my wishes, looking at what house the new moon is for me. So if you're Aries, it's in the 11th house. And remember, if you do this moon manifesting, you'll be able to work on every area of your life as you move through the astrological year. It's also Chinese New Year, so happy Chinese New Year. I know there's a special thing to say. I don't speak Chinese and I haven't Googled it. Okay, so let's move on. If you would like to receive a message for you from these cards, it's a little bit more personal. Just take a moment to pick a number between 1 and 4. So just let that number intuitively come to you and remember it. So when I do the reading for that card, just know that message is, a little bit more pertinent to whatever is going on for you this week. Now I'll let you in on something. When I do ask the question for these weekly readings, I usually ask something like, how can we all best work with the universal energies that will be present this week? How can we have the most fabulous week, the most positive experiences, that kind of thing. Yet the universe always responds to your strongest feelings, your thoughts, but mostly, your strongest feeling, the vibration that's current in your body at that time. So I have something going on for me. I've been thinking of a health question, and I tried to put that to the back of my mind so that I could ask that question. How do we all best work with these energies this week so we can have a fabulous week? And as I dealt out the cards, I was like, oh my God, Spirit has answered my question because it responded to the strongest feeling that I'm putting out there. So I'm really grateful that my question's been answered, and I trust that whatever it is you are asking, that you'll get a response as well from this reading. If you ever have any feedback or comments, I really, really love to hear from you. I really appreciate it, and I will write back to you. Okay, so this week I've changed things up a bit, and I'm reading for Kyle Gray's Angels and Ancestors Oracle. If you don't know Kyle Gray, please go and check him out. He has plenty of decks, lots of fantastic books, great resources, courses, all the rest. He has a brand new book out called Angel Numbers, and he is just a rock star. I totally love him, and these are beautiful decks. And they're not wishy-washy. They're a bit like Kyle himself. He's like a bit of a yogi warrior, and yet such a gentle and beautiful soul. Very strong. And I really miss him. I miss Hay House Radio and listening to his show on that. So I'm trusting that Kyle's going to turn up in Hay House Radio's newest incarnation, which is Hay House Podcast, and that we're going to keep hearing from him. I'm sure we will. So our anchor card is Oracle. Universe sure has a sense of humour. So the question I'm thinking about for myself is a health question. And I've been given a choice to do something for my health, and my anxiety is really attached to it, and it's been totally, kicking my butt, and I'm obsessing, all the mind gremlins are going, and I'm deep into the fear and the negative, all the things that could possibly go wrong, how this could not work out for me, and I have not been accessing all the wisdom that I can. And as someone who was born very psychic, very intuitive, born a little medium herself, I really, it's like I have the skills, I have the ability, and even even having that, I'm letting my mind take over, the ego and the fear, and I'm letting it run the show. And that is not going to help me. So it's really good that Spirit's responding this way and said, hey, you know, what about your intuition? What about your psychic abilities? What about connecting with Spirit? What about asking for signs? How about you tap into, this amazing resource of wisdom and knowledge and love and support and assistance? How about you use that, Kylie? So if you're doing something similar to me at the moment, please know Spirit's encouraging us to access, that source of wisdom. And the oracle, I have done a reading about this, and basically I think I have done a reading about my question and about the issue I'm facing, and I'm getting a really good response. So yes, as we go about our week, remember, everyone is psychic, everyone is intuitive, everyone has these abilities to varying degrees, and we have varying levels of interest in using these abilities, which is the difference between people who are highly intuitive and sensitive and taking action on this and co-creating and manifesting their lives with the divine, and people are sort of vaguely aware or coming to the awareness of these abilities, or people are totally disinterested and shut off. So we are being asked to open up, to trust the intuition that comes, to be aware of the signs, the symbols, the way that the universe talks to us. As Colette always says, the universe is very chatty, and that has been my experience too. When I went through similar health challenges quite some years ago, I really felt so supported, because Spirit was there for me every step of the way. And, even having conversations with my surgeon, I actually saw in my head what was going to happen when I was in his office and every word he was going to say and all the rest of it. When I went and saw him recently for a review and a checkup, I was so anxious about it, even though my test results come back clear and I'm totally fine. I was so anxious about going and seeing him because I have, medical anxiety or whatever you call as well, that I wasn't trusting, my intuitive self. I wasn't trusting all these abilities that I have. I was just so shut off from that. And I was like, hang on, Kylie, just get a little bit of detachment, just breathe into this space and let's just access this and say, well, hey, show me what's going to unfold. So then I heard what he was going to tell me at the appointment. Wouldn't I go in to see my surgeon? And what does he say? He said basically everything that I thought he was going to say. But the thing is, I was still so closed off. I hadn't, really tweaked it. So I hadn't gotten the whole message, which was even better than what I expected. But yeah, it's just like, it's reassuring. It used to be kind of annoying. I say my psychic ability, especially when I was younger, was like living my life 5 to 10 minutes before I'd lived it, because scenes would unfold. I'd hear conversations, events, I would see events happen like a little movie screen, and then they would happen in real life, and I'd sort of be like, oh. And, one of the downsides of that is I never really get any surprises. It's very hard to surprise me. But look at it. Look at when I look at the advantages of that ability, it's just so reassuring. It's kind of still unreal. I sort of feel like someone needs to pinch me. I'm like, was the surgeon really saying that? If Rod wasn't in the room with me, I think I dreamt it. It's crazy. Yeah. So let's be open. Let's, keep developing and working on our intuitive abilities and our conversations with Spirit, connecting with our guides, our ancestors, our animal spirits, and let's just really flow with this week in connection, deep connection with Spirit. Loving this. Okay, the second card, the next right action to take is Warrior. Whenever anything in an oracle card deck, or even if you're looking in the tarot, but particularly in oracle card decks, if anyone ever shows up with a weapon, I think of it like the strength card in tarot too. There's a card, I think we had it not long ago, the Lady in the Lake from Wisdom of Avalon by Colette Rowan Reed. And I'm like, okay, If you show up with a weapon, it means you're going to be facing a challenge this week and you're going to need to capitalize on your strength. And that's what's going to happen this week. We need to know that we have the inner resources to be able to face whatever challenge happens. Plus, we're connecting with spirit and we're asking them to assist and support us with whatever challenge that comes up. I'm really feeling the message like we need to stay strong and stay centered and grounded and know that we can move through whatever is going on for us. And know that spirit shows up very strongly to support us, to keep us on the right path, and to keep us in a positive frame of mind. I'm really feeling that as well. So Warrior says, be fearless and stand strong. So lots of grounding energies. What Kyle says about this card too is the warrior is emerging from the darkness, but he is the light. So it's all about positive stuff. No matter, like don't be afraid when I say, okay, there's a challenge coming up, we need to draw on our inner strength. Sometimes that does give me a little bit of pause, but I'm like, I don't know what the challenge will be. If I relate it to my question, the challenge is not to let my fear and my ego prevent me from taking very good care of my health. That's my challenge. I don't know what yours is. I'd love to hear about it and whether or not this reading is going to make sense for you and support you in some way. So Spirit showing up for us strong. High Priestess. So this is the future possible outcome card. Oops. And it's saying harness mystic power. Okay, so as a future possible outcome card, what I'm looking at with this is that our solutions and our information source and our inspiration, our wisdom really does come from spirit, and we're connecting more so probably with our guides or with our understanding of God or a goddess. And just to really go deep into our faith. We've been encouraged so far, and I've heard this in lots of the readings I've done previously, to really grow our faith this year, to have that deep trust in spirit. And I'm getting this illumination, like we're going to keep being inspired and illuminated. Remember, we're all upgrading, we're all hitting those other dimensions. All the dimensions are inside of us. Listen to Matt Kahn if you're interested in learning about 3-dimensional, 5-dimensional living, all that stuff. And I feel like there's a real purity to the messages we're going to receive this week and to the support ongoing. And it's that deep, strong connection, probably more so with one guide, with one god or one goddess. So be aware of the signs, the synchronicities of this energy communicating with you this week more strongly. You may be aware of them from the past, but going forward, and for this particular period of your time, and for this particular challenge, whatever your question was, and remember this was the third card if you pick number 3, this is the energy that's going to guide you through at this time. So High Priestess, loving that. And the cat is Bast, so that's also representative of goddess. If you're into Egyptian mythology and all that as well, that might make a little bit more sense to you. So our 4th card, if you pick number 4, this is the eagle, and I love this card. I actually have a spirit animal guide who is a big female eagle who has come into my life at different times. And I also, I say any day you see an eagle is a good day. If I've been asking a question, then I see an eagle, I know that I'm being guided through this process and there's a really positive outcome on the way. If you have a particular affinity for an animal totem or an animal spirit guide, or if you understand the message of eagle, then you'll know it's all about the angelic realms, getting up to a higher perspective, knowing that your answers are coming from the divine. So it's from the higher awareness coming down into, our everyday lives. So we're definitely being inspired, we're being flooded with lots of wisdom. It's all very, very positive and high vibing, and there's a very spiritual theme coming through these cards. So you see, connecting to the ways that the divine speaks with us through animal oracles, through open vessels, through feathers, seeing angels, connecting with angels. So keep really high vibing this week. Keep your mind on all the positive things. Play really nice music. up-level your self-care, use your essential oils, whatever it is that helps you stay in a positive frame of mind, because this is going to help you integrate, like receive and integrate this wisdom more easily. And if you got this card, it's such a positive message and such, a positive vibing card. I love it. Eagle's the king of birds, and you'll see in many, many cultures they are definitely connected to divine wisdom. I'm loving that. All right, and our next card is from Yasmin Boland's Moonology deck. We have New Moon Aquarius happening, and what was the card that I pulled? Full Moon in Aquarius. Show the world the real you. So, what I'm looking at with this, I'll just apologise for the background sounds. That's my partner coughing in the background, and it'd be really nice if I had a bit more quiet. Can't win, honestly. I do these readings on a day when I'm supposed to be at home by myself and it's quieter. And what happens? Things change. You just got to roll with it and hope they'll stay quiet. Full moon in Aquarius. So, show the world the real you. The Aquarius, I think my dad, he was an Aquarian. They are people ahead of their time. They have these leading edge ideas. They're totally inventive, very left of field, extremely creative. Very social, very, like my dad was always very concerned with world events, what was happening in the world and what was happening socially and how it might impact us. The things my dad told me about, and he really wanted to educate and inform, his family. And the things he told us about, which people thought he was absolutely nuts for, have all come true. My dad was highly psychic and intuitive. He didn't want to work with it, but he did acknowledge it and understood that he had these abilities. But the things that he knew, and they've all come to pass. He used to pore over newspapers. That was his favourite thing. He wanted to be informed. Aquarians, I find, have a thirst for knowledge, but it's a particular type of knowledge. They want to be on that leading edge because that's kind of where they live. So full moon in Aquarius is saying, come out of your shell, even if it doesn't feel comfortable, even if you have some of these leading edge ideas or left of field, very curious. That's okay. It's what's needed at the moment. And we're in that very Aquarian time. We're in the time where it's the new ideas, the things we've never contemplated or really heard of or taken action towards. These are the solutions for our future. The solutions for the problems now and going into the future. We really need this. If you're an Aquarian now and you have some brilliant ideas, please share them. Know that you are 20 years ahead of your time, and that's okay. I've heard about souls, if coming to Earth, and what they do is they kind of advance, just kind of in a leapfrog fashion, human evolution. So people will talk about people like Mahatma Gandhi or the Buddha or Jesus or Mother Teresa, and they'll call them ascended masters because they'll say, people have said that they came to Earth at a time, and very often they had very challenging lives, and they, got such opposition against their ideas and their behaviour and what they stood for and their teachings, because what they do is they push our evolution further. They are so far ahead that we have to make that leap to catch up with them. And that's what I feel like this message is now. Not only, just to stand strong and speak up and share your message with the wider world, but be aware of those, really highly creative, inventive, futuristic thoughts and ideas you have. Get them down, share them. Don't be afraid, someone's going to pinch your ideas and capitalize on it. We're all the one being. We're all in the cosmic unconscious, so we all have access to everything. But, certain people are poised to be able to deliver the information we need at the time, which is going to be a positive experience for all of humanity. And even if you just make, one corner of the universe better and that's your own, then it's worth it. But yeah, don't be afraid to stand strong. Hestia is from the Divine Feminine Oracle, and she's our 5th card, and she's saying, the goddess of sanctuary, no matter where I am home. The most sacred sanctuary is found within me. So the message of all these cards, and Hestia is our goddess to guide us through with anything that comes up for us this week or within this reading. She's going to provide further clarity and insights for this reading and whatever's come up in the other cards. Hestia is saying that, to connect to your intuition, you've got to come home to yourself. Also, when we're facing challenges, the world can be a very busy, noisy place. We can be inundated, with information, and we need to be bringing it back here. I've said in past readings, it's really about connecting to our wisdom as we move forward. And you need to come home to yourself and understand that you are the divine, manifested as you, and that you are the source of all wisdom in this world. You carry that light within you, which is, you're like the spark of the divine. Other people have said it far more eloquently than me, but just to know that it's okay to bring everything back here to us. We keep getting that message, bring everything back here to us. The world is a very noisy, busy place. We need that peace and serenity and that sense of detachment, loving detachment, to be able to, sift and wade through everything and find out what makes sense for us, what's going to work for us, how can we keep it simple, and how can we take action in small baby step ways to improve our lives and the lives of others. It's all about bringing it home. And home is acknowledging the divinity within you. You have everything you need within you to be able to rise to every challenge, to be able to solve your problems, to be able to co-create a wonderful, very satisfying, contented, peaceful life. So, as you said, we really got to try and shut the noise of the world off, and we do that by coming home to ourselves, meditating, being mindful, using. I've been doing a lot of self-hypnosis. I've been doing those with Brad Yates and his videos on YouTube. But Hestia is, also about, how do I say it, like nurturing that inner fire, because this is what's going to see us through, and not letting other people like dim your light. So yeah, we're definitely getting that message to shine, to bring our message out into the wider world, and we do that by staying strong here first and foremost, and as we go forward. So I'm trusting that you took away something from this reading that's really going to be of assistance and support to you this week. As you said, I'd love your feedback, love to know how you're going, and I'd love for you to join us again next week. So see you later.